Welcome, 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 brother. Back to the Rose Garden. Good to see you. Happy Thursday.
Hey, happy Thursday to you as well. Happy to be back here with you.
I am always excited to be back here with you. It's been a busy, busy, busy week, but guess what? The best part of this week was we had sunshine.
Yeah, hey, sunshine always does something warming to the spirit and the soul for sure. So
Absolutely.
I'm happy about that as well.
So, last week I think I gotta queue up the parameters for why we missed last week because I heard you were sitting in the Rose Garden waiting, waiting, waiting on me, and I never showed up. And a big reason for that was I had, I guess it's a middle-aged perceptual disturbance where I thought Thursday was Wednesday because we had celebrated that holiday on Monday. And by the time I looked up from what I was doing and saw that I had blown past our time, I thought, oh my goodness, I've had this big, huge disturbance. So I'm so sad to everybody that I missed our opportunity. And everybody was looking for me. Even my poor brother was going to send out an APV for me, but I was not lost. I literally thought Thursday was Wednesday. And what had happened is I got into this routine of, you know, I hadn't worked 3 days yet. So of course it wasn't Thursday, but yeah, Monday was the holiday. So this is what happens. The burden of aging is that you actually have these blips in times and cognitive disturbances. So I'm so happy to be back in the Rose Garden with you to spend some time. And we are not alone today. We are
Yeah,
joined by some very special, special guests.
yeah, very, very excited to be joined by some of my martial arts and science warrior brethren. From different regions of the world and also different backgrounds and cultures. But let me, it's my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce Kuya Lex and Kuya Ferdinand. But Kuya Lex, I'll let you do the honors of representing you all and introducing further.
All right, cool. My name is Alexis Crisostino. I train in Filipino martial arts. Our system is Pinakatai Arnis Sigidas. This is a Cebuano art. Uh, Pinakatai means cursive in Cebuano. Arnis is the more known name for the Filipino martial arts in the Philippines. And Sigidas in Cebuano is repetition, very quick and successive. Uh, my title in this art is Maayong Laki, which just means highly skilled. Uh, we don't usually have the belt systems traditionally in the Philippines. It's just names and titles given by instructors passed down, as opposed to, oh, you get a white belt, yellow belt, red belt, black belt kind of thing. It was very backdoor, very old school, trained in a backyard, and usually you got invited to train. It wasn't commercialized. Uh, at least that's how I was trained and how I was brought up in the art. My colleague here is Akuya Ferdi. Uh, Part of what we're trying to bring to the Rose Garden today is one, to talk about our, me and Kuya Wes's FMA, and to share a project that Kuya Ferdi has allowed us to bring here into the US for the first time.
That's great. That's
Yes.
great. And I guess I should help the audience also know that we are going to be joined later by someone else that we will introduce, but you can give a soft introduction because he is joining us live from transition. So who else will be here later on?
It will be Kuya Wes, my father and teacher ever since I could crawl. He put a stick in my hand. He had no choice. You were learning it. Um, but he put me in other arts too to try and test things out to see if it would work, or whatever I would learn from him would be applicable to these situations. And I've tried Muay Thai, wrestling, BJJ, a bunch of other arts, Taekwondo, all the stuff you would be familiar as a youth, because of the after school programs and stuff like that. And it came full circle. Everything I learned there, brought me back to FMA, and the structure that they provided didn't suit me. And that kind of stuck. Not everyone learns something a particular way. It just seemed to me at that time, when I was exposed to that, they had a formula you had to follow. all the way through. It wasn't like this art is where an art can be tailored to you. One person can be tall, short, big, small. People move differently. And if the art can't change for that particular person, we believed that there was an issue. So that's the beauty with Filipino martial arts. It's very adaptable and it complements any background that you may have walking in the door. And I learned all of that from Kuya West.
I
Wow.
appreciate that description. You know, my brother and I get the opportunity every Thursday to hang out with each other, and it's not easy working with family, and it's particularly not easy probably working with a parent. So tell us how, in the beginning of your experience with working with your father, because you said I went on this journey of discovering other arts, and now I'm back. How did you get back to this form, and what was it like learning from your dad?
I learned the way he learned. It wasn't like, okay, you have to jump here, do jumping jacks, do push-ups. The way that he was taught was if you found curiosity in learning it, you would just, there's a stick, and then toss it to you. And the way that he would determine whether you had the confidence to learn was you caught it, and then you tried to defend yourself. So he would come at you with control, obviously, with control and striking in places. So you would learn through pain, just little bits of pain. That's, oh, I keep tapping you in the shoulder. You're not doing anything about it. So you have to figure out how to do it. And it was more organic that way, as opposed to what you would see now, where it's okay, everyone, we're going to do block 1, block 2, block 3. And it's like a cookie cutter kind of thing. But the way I learned and how I plan to teach, hopefully my future kids, would be the same way, an organic way where it allows them to question what's being taught. It allows them to build upon everything that I can provide to them, because every generation builds upon that, right? So everything that I can muster from my dad's teachings and the influences around me, I want to put that in that kid, and hopefully they take that and make it more. And yeah, that's about it. And it goes back to this project, offering a platform here in the US that hasn't been done yet.
Where are you located?
Me, I am here in Silver Spring, Maryland. I do travel back and forth from North Carolina. So I move a lot, but I always make time for the students on Sundays. And anytime that wants to schedule in person or online, we're open to that too.
So when you say you're bringing something to the US, tell us about that, because it seems like the mystery behind this is it doesn't already exist here. So what are you bringing to us?
Okay, so I'm going to let Kuya Ferdy talk about that. And I'll talk about the platforms that we've been able to utilize, at least from Pinakatai's perspective, and now we can apply it to this project.
Okay.
This project is Wego Todo. And as Kuya X was saying, it was anything goes, pretty much.
Anything goes. You better give us some context, because you know
okay,
you don't.
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to word it in a way that is that's easy to.
Don't use Zadian's words. He's gonna get you in trouble. I already told you about him.
Oh man, you're gonna give me trouble. Well, I'm gonna let him explain it, but in layman's terms, the first round, it's a three round match. There's amateurs and pros. The first round is doble baston, which is treated like bladed weapons, but there's live stick and padded stick. Again, this is a sports format. It's regulated and all. So the first round is double sticks. So it may be FMA revolved, but any art that has a weapons base, now you have a place to test yourself. You know, it could be Kung Fu, it could be any martial art that has weapons background that could try and apply it. So your first round is double sticks, 2 sticks. Your first round is double sticks. Your second round is single stick, which X knows is our specialty. We love single stick. We excel in the medium to close range. You know how we work. But our challenge is that long range. So now we have to apply what we know to an unfamiliar situation. And this format allows us to grow as individuals, fighters, and a group.
So Ferdy's going to do all this. Ferdy's going to teach us all how to do this, is what you're saying.
Say that again.
So Ferdy's going to bring this to us.
Yeah, well, I think Ferdy is.
He's gonna speak more on that. He's the creator. He knows that he's gonna tell you everything. And the last round is MMA. It's basically what the UFC already has to offer. Why you don't have to reinvent the wheel if it already exists. Tailor the rules, make sure it works and is compliant with US standards. And yeah, I'll let him expand on that. Kuya Ferdy?
Yeah, sure. Okay. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for having me over here and Lex and QOS. Well, I'm a retired U.S. Navy chief. Did 20 years in the service. I'm also a Persian Gulf veteran, martial arts practitioner, and I am basically the founder, the chairman, and the creator of this new platform. And basically, it's centered on Filipino martial arts. And the name Juego Todo is actually it goes back in the day uh, of our ancestors here in the Philippines, uh, being when we were colonized by the Spaniards or by the Spanish rule for 400 some years. Juego todo is actually a Spanish word, and it means all games.
I think we have some tech issues.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just me for a second. Okay.
Somebody sent him a text message, and so that he knows we lost his.
I got you.
Yeah. So he was saying it. He said "Juego Todo" is a Spanish word. I know it means.
Yeah, he's gonna be bringing up the fact that before these matches they were like blood matches.
Oh wow!
And it was let me message him here, make sure he's good. We can't hear you.
Look, he's giving us all he got, though. He is telling us all about it. The last thing we heard was colonized. So
another way he started it out, where he was tying it back to the homage to the ancestry, colonization portion, which we all can relate to for sure.
Right. Yeah. And that history that it's interesting because he also was saying this not only dates back to the colonization, but that there was a reaction of the people. The people responded and reacted in a way to respond to that colonization. And I think that these art forms are ways to creatively express what you come with indigenously. And I can't wait to hear more about that. Is he back?
Kuya, say something.
Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry. We're good. Okay.
I don't know what happened.
You got to go all the way back, sir. The last thing we heard was colonized.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
okay. That's what we heard was when you said that the Juego Todo, what that was meaning in Spanish.
Yeah. So, of course, it's a Spanish word, and it means all game. So pretty much back in the days when we were colonized by the Spanish rule, that's where it all started. And Juego Todo back then was a duel. It was a duel to the death. Okay. So pretty much whatever you brought to the duel, you used till the death. But then this one, of course, we can't do that nowadays. So that's what gave me the idea to come up with a new platform, with a new and it has to be a sport now. It can't be, just like the original Juego Todo. So I thought about it that the Philippines is turning 126 years old come June 12th. And yes, and to date, the Philippines doesn't have its own professional sports league yet. Just like when you hear the word Taekwondo I mean, automatically it pops up Korea.
Yeah.
You hear the word Muay Thai, it's Thailand.
Yeah.
Well, here, my idea, my vision is to bring something so unique that already exists, but then unfortunately it has never prospered, you know, uh, in the international stage. And the reason I say that is because um, FMA is so great to where you see it in the Hollywood fight scenes.
Oh my
It's
God.
also been adapted by the elite forces of the foreign military.
Hmm.
But then here in the motherland, yeah, it is present, it exists, but I want it to be out there, greater to where I can put these people, these FMAers, on a pedestal where they belong. Okay. Because I believe if you're a highly skilled individual, there should be no way for you to be poor. And that's the problem here right now. Is in the Philippines, we do have a lot of highly skilled FMAers, but the problem is, we don't really get the support that we need. Like number one is from the government, support from all these different styles of FMA. Because the problem here is, I see the reason why it never prospered really was because of the crab mentality, to
Hmm.
where
Crabs in
people
a
would
barrel.
say, yeah, oh, my style is deadlier than yours. Oh, my style is greater than yours, this and that. So this is the reason why FMA, like I said, is so great, and there's so many styles, a variation from whatever the original was, having that stick, and then whatever you could do it with that stick and this and that. So I said, why not, come up with something uh, different that would have an international impact that would sustain. This is all about sustainability as far as income is concerned for the Filipino martial artist, because here in the Philippines, the majority of the FMAers are poor. They're at the lower class. And like I said, for me, I believe that if you're skilled, there should be no way that you were born poor and you still die poor. So I came up with this idea,
So, Ferdy, I have a
and
question. When did
yeah,
you
sure.
start? When did you start training in this tradition or art?
I started this way back 2014. Okay, and if we go back a year before that, that was 2013. I started this MMA league called UGB MMA here in the Philippines, with the mission to help the underprivileged fighters have a platform. They get exposed in this platform, and then it becomes the stepping stone for them to fight internationally. That's how it all started.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
because like I said, I'm
for you, Kuya Verdi, because she was trying to ask in terms of how you got interested into the martial science and arts to begin with, because that sounds like how Kuya Lex was saying to us that his father threw him a stick uh, to test
well,
out this art.
got
Like
it.
what happened with you?
Yeah, well, for me, I wasn't born in a martial arts family, but the interest was there growing up. The idols back then were Bruce Lee
Oh yeah,
and Muhammad Ali. So we go way back. I'm older than all of you guys. I'm 60. So, that's the reason why, Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali growing up, they were the idols back then. And
absolutely.
of course, you have to learn how to defend yourself and protect yourself. So that's how it all started at an early age. So, but I'm not like, brother Lex here and Kuya West, to where they're deeply trained when it comes to Filipino martial arts.
Well,
I have the base.
how did you end up getting into the military? Because you had military background. You said you got like 20 years in, right? And that was
Yes.
with the U.S. So how did that happen for you?
Okay. Way back in '88, the Philippines. That's when I got recruited. I came in through Subic Bay, Philippines, and there was this special agreement between the Philippines, the two governments, the Philippines and the U.S., to where they have the bases here, the U.S. bases, but they will be recruiting X number of Filipinos to join the U.S. Navy annually.
Mhm.
And I was lucky enough to be one of those because there was 400 of us that took the exam that day. And after six more months, well, 400 that took the exam, there's only 38 of us that made it.
Mm.
Okay. And then after 6 months of more tests, the physical, the medical, and everything else, only 18 of us made it.
Wow.
So at
Yeah.
that point,
So
you're not into the Filipino martial arts, though. When you're
I was ready. Yeah, I
you
was
weren't into
ready. And
the martial arts at that point.
I
No,
was ready. I started already at a
Oh,
younger
you
age.
had.
So
So this is a type of art then form that children can be introduced, young people can be introduced to.
yes, yes.
Because I heard
Be-
sticks, and that worries me a little bit. Like, I want to make sure that we are, my base is kids. So what can kids do in this? So we can introduce this at what age?
Actually, it's offered here in the Philippines as physical education, and even the young ones. Yeah, when you're talking,
Mhm.
6, 5, 6, 7. They have the sticks, and it's part of our PE class. So they can get started really really early,
Really
and we
young.
have tailored. Yes, we have tailored the rules that would fit, for the minors, for the kids.
And is it
Yeah.
gender specific or is this
No,
for,
it's not.
okay.
No, anybody willing to learn it can actually. Yeah.
and as Kuya Ferdinand mentioned, it's also not age determining either, because like you said, when you see Kuya Wesley, like he's very super active. I don't know how old he is, but judging by the fact that he has a grown son, he's definitely mature. But
So is he still actively fighting?
oh,
Mhm.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
He
yeah,
beats me up regularly for demonstrations all the time.
so
So if Mayam Laki is uh what did you say, super trained? I can't remember the word. What is his title?
Haniti. It just means teacher.
Teacher.
That's what I mean. Like in the Philippines, we don't have grandiose titles like well, the older ones, more traditional ones, don't usually have those titles like Supreme Grandmaster, Gods, whatever.
Right.
Grandmaster.
Yeah, ours there's usually it's just it's your teacher, your student, your teacher says, okay, you're good, you can take care of yourself. I'm confident that you'll be okay. I don't need to give you a title for you to feel confident in doing and performing what you're learning.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
uh,
That separates you from other distinctions.
yeah, and I mean we're not the only ones. There's some arts that are like that too. But the more commercialized versions and the ones that people kind of flock to are the fancy moving ones, the things that look flowery. Koyaks will tell you that we are not the most pretty looking art. We're more to the point and direct, as opposed to flipping in the air or something, or tornado kick when it's icy outside. It's raining. Things have to work in all these situations. You can't just
Practical.
you don't have the comfort of the gym, your uniform, the mats. Oh, I have to wear socks. We don't have that when you're using it. It's the middle of winter. You got a big puffy jacket on. You just got out of your car. It's icy. I need to be able to move and defend myself in these situations. Maybe I'm parked on a hill and it's icy or it's raining. There's a lot of things that you have to take into account when you're learning an art. And everyone's reason for joining may be different, but we believe if you're learning FMA, that your environmental factors play a big part in the way that you train.
Absolutely.
I don't have a picture of it, but literally the backyard, I got tires, and that guy would always tell me, like when he was young, they have streams and rivers all over the Philippines. As a kid, you're playing with animals, going to the forest, you play with your friends, and you're jumping from rock to rock. And I'm thinking, how can I simulate something that organic here in the States in a backyard in the middle of Silver Spring. So I'm like, okay, let me get a bunch of old tires, put them all in the backyard. It is very unstable platforms, and then tell people to spar on that. Or obviously, when you're training, those are for your higher level students. But you're not gonna have someone walk off the street and then start fighting on tires. It's not how it works.
But that might entice some of the young people who are looking for, one of the burdens right now is, especially in the United States, is the government is reducing money for public programs and for youth-based programs. And so why this is such a timely discussion is, our students are moving into the summer months, and families are really looking for what would be a healthy, safe activity for children. That's why I was asking Ferdy, do you envision this being 6, 7 year, like kids being able to be excited about the tradition? Because with the loss of those public funded camps, things like that, families are going to be looking for what's interesting, what's creative to do. The other thing is, every family wants to, I don't know about you all, but me and my brother were put in, what was it? I don't know what tradition was, karate, because we want our kids to have that foundational skill of how to protect yourself and how to take care of yourselves. So it's attractive to to parents who have those youngsters who, now have no options, no opportunities, nothing to do. And we want them to also be safe in an environment that feels less safe. So this question really is for Ferdy. How do we kind of shape the messaging for families then, that this is a great opportunity for your youngsters who need something to do? It's safe, but it also promotes personal safety. Like, we're teaching you how to take care of yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So for the kids, well, even for everybody, for Wego Todo, you will be wearing a grilled headgear. Unfortunately, I don't have a sample, but it is grilled. Okay, it's metal up front, and it's pretty much just like a helmet. It's fully padded inside, so you can actually get hit accidentally, but no damage. And it has 4 flaps. It has the spine, and the shoulders. And this one, I had it modified to where it has an additional 1 inch foam. That way, if in case you do get hit on these, 4 uh, sides, then it would, the impact wouldn't be as much. And for kids, that's for round 1 and 2. They're going to be wearing the grilled headgear, and then they're also going to be wearing the breastplate. Just like a breastplate for Taekwondo, something very similar. And then they're going to have the arm guards and the leg guards, and then of course mouthpiece and the groin guards. That's pretty much it for the kids. And of course they're going to be using the padded sticks. The live sticks is for the pro side. Yeah, so that's pretty much how it is. And another thing too for the kids, by the way, is when they do get to the third round, they're going to be wearing another type of headgear, which is pretty much the same headgear as for the boxers, but head strikes won't be allowed for the minors. That's going to be reserved for 18 on up, and the pros. Yeah.
But also to add on to what Kuya Ferdy said, I think that, the tradition of any sort of martial arts and science, the foundation is to give people confidence in their ability to defend themselves, number one. But also these traditions, they teach like courtesy, respect, you know, because I like the fact that for both, Kuya Lex and Kuya Ferdy, that they're paying homage to their ancestry, right? And they're trying to proliferate, an art form that that they inherited, right? And I commend, their intent in terms of um, shining the light on people who have actually dedicated their life and time and energy to perfecting a skill, you know. So honestly, it has all these benefits, and then I think just the sense of belonging, overall. to just this warrior lineage. You know what I mean? To be involved in a group where your own um, you know values and interests are represented by others that you can support the development and growth. And I think those are some of the benefits definitely to the youth.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
When we're thinking about like the messaging here, because I think a lot of people don't understand other countries' relationship to colonization. It was important. I liked how Bertie started his discussion about, we were a colonized group of people, and I know for black kids and black kids in America, this discussion about colonization and the impact of that and keeping us rooted in poverty has been such a powerful experience. I really liked how you were connecting, like, if you have a special talent, you shouldn't be poor. So how are you helping to shape the mind sets of individuals who are, poverty's all around them? That's what they know by inviting them to this sport.
Okay. Well, for me, the first step there is basic because over here right now in the Philippines, the national sport is arnis. Okay, it's the sticks. It's also called kali, eskrima. So that's the national sport. But then, unfortunately, that is only at the amateur level. So for me to get the bigger support uh, of the entire country is to go pro, to go professional. So, like I said, I wanted to introduce this so that way I get the support. It's actually been submitted already to the Games and Amusements Board, which is the governing and sanctioning body here when it comes to pro sports. But then, unfortunately, when I started talking about this and I brought this up to them way back in 2017.
One wrong move and your entire channel.
Yeah.
What? Oh,
I don't know what happened, but
yeah,
yeah. So 2017 was when this was first introduced, and it got submitted. My proposal got submitted to the government, and till then, since then, I should say, I've been still been waiting for the approval. And before the Duterte had been actually during the Duterte administration, uh, we have been given the opportunity by the previous chairman of the Games and Amusements Board to where we were endorsed to the office of the president to Malacanang, and it says that this program is really really good because it promotes sports tourism, nationalism, and patriotism. But then, unfortunately, getting stuck with the transition between Duterte and Marcos administration, so we're still stuck. We're still waiting. Although we have tried to make a follow up already, but yeah, we're still in the waiting game. So what I'm trying to say here is to get people out of poverty is that once it becomes professionalized, okay, the support is going to be greater because right now we have big companies that sponsor uh, our Philippine Arnis team and the Southeast Asian Games. And of course, the athletes get all kinds of support, from the monetary to free transportation and food and everything else. But that's just at the amateur level. So can you imagine doing this at the pro level to where the government would back you up? I mean, you won't be carrying just your own uh, um, club banner or your gym banner or whatever. This one, whenever you compete at the pro level, you're going to be carrying that Filipino flag, behind you, waving it proudly and saying, "Hey, look at me, guys! This is us. I am Filipino." Yeah. So again, uh, to actually have more of the financial support to actually push through with this and get people out of poverty. This is my way of doing things because way back 2019, when I did the very first Juego Todo Grand Championship, I personally was able to gather funds to give away a house and lot. This is winner take all. It was a house and lot, a brand new motorcycle, 50,000 worth of 50,000 pesos. So that's about, 1,000 $1,000. Not really much, but at least equates to something. And it was all groceries for the wife of the fighter, because of course now they do have the house. So all those goodies, all those groceries can be used there as for there are plenty of stores here in the Philippines. Little stores is called sari sari store. Sari sari means assorted. So you know, so there's a way, a means to generate the extra income while the husband fighter isn't fighting. And then of course 20,000 cash, and then the belt. So if I was able to do that way back then, I was just all by myself. Can you imagine what this sport, what this new platform can do for the Arnisador, okay, for the FMAer at the pro level?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
and again,
you're pioneering it, just like how the beginning of like all sports were, and the beginning of it. I think in our cultures we could definitely relate to that, right? Because like you said with Muhammad Ali and all of them, when they first come out as boxers, they have like, I would consider them, at their highest level because they got to climb up through the ranks at that point in time. And it seems like a lot of their time and energy is stolen at that time, right? But they don't really have global attention. It's only until you get global attention to
yeah,
where you actually get the financial backing behind you. But the UFC and all of that went through these periods where they didn't have that type of attention and awareness. So I love the way that you shining the light, specifically on this area of the art and where you come from, in the world. And you know what? I seen like way back when, like, when I was a little kid, they used to have these, I think that we used to call them like Western movies and show, but they was basically like cowboys and Indian
Mhm.
type of thing, right? But I remember they used to talk about how Mexican and Filipinos were the best at like knife fighting. They would be showing some scenes where they would have like some super Mexican knife fighter or whatnot, and the Filipino knife fighter. So I had like exposure to that way back when. But to the point though, it's really obscure. So since it came back when I met Kuya Wesley, and I think like number one, he's a really excellent teacher, and it resonated to me in terms of the practicality of the art, and I think Kuya West Lex is really kind of being humble about it, because I think when you really are good at that art, it does look beautiful. Like the way you wield the sticks, or the double sticks, and also at the advanced level the blade. Like it's really a beautiful art. So I commend you all, both of you, for doing what you're doing. I mean, honestly, it's really inspirational, and I'm glad to be part of it. But we like to get to know you personally too. I know
Yes.
really you have some.
I do, but before that, I'd like them just to share where can because this is new to my brain. My brother brought it to me, and like I'm a little jealous that he has some of this information. Like I want to see these beautiful blade fights that he's talking about. Although that just sounds a little scary to my ears. And Ferdy keeps saying we can have these little 6-year-old with sticks, and I can imagine a 6-year-old bopping each other in the head with the sticks as you guys are training. So where can we see more about this? And when are you guys going to be having your demonstrations? Because I know there's an event coming up, right?
Mhm. So our next big event is August 9th. This will be our 13th year holding an annual event, but this one's special because we're introducing Wego Todo for the first time. And what we like to do is to involve Filipino dance and cuisine. This is something different that not all other FMA groups, when they hold an event, it's usually centered and focused around FMA. A lot, if you're familiar with capoeira, where they're hiding the moves within dance,
Yeah.
Filipinos do that as well. We have tinikling, which is the very famous one where you have 2 sticks and you're jumping in and out of the sticks. Pandango Sailao, where you're putting candles on your hand, candle on the head, and you have to be fluid, but you're practicing how to do the same thing with a stick. Or or a knife is still the same movement. So whatever tool you put in your hand, whether you're doing a dance or not, the techniques and movements stay relatively familiar and the same. And that's the flavor that we bring that's a little bit different than other FMA events, at least in the area around here.
Where's it gonna be at?
This is going to be in Merrifield. It's going to be hosted at Crescendo Studios. This is a indoor event, but I think it's up to 500, maybe a little bit more. It's in the Mosaic District, if you are familiar with that.
It's in Fairfax.
Yep.
Fairfax, Virginia. Yep.
By Fairfax. Yep. So it's metro accessible. There's a big parking structure nearby. It's right off the highway.
Are there any featured fighters coming?
Instructors, yes. Yeah. There are going to be other instructors. That's another layer I was going to talk about is not only are we adding the food and cuisine or adding the Wego Todo to it, we're also adding instructionals. So between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m., I have instructors of my council, the Wego Todo USA Council, coming to teach, to help educate the public. So by the time they see the exhibition, it doesn't seem like, oh my God, they're beating each other with sticks. It's, oh, we participated in the morning. We know how doble baston works. I know what doble baston is. I know this is basically what they're trying to do. Oh, okay. I'm going to do single now. Oh, I can switch hands. Oh, I can do this. And now we're involving people who are interested, from the public, to get them more educated on what we're doing. So when they see it, it's not a shock or doesn't scare them away. Like he was saying, we also have some commissioners that are going to be present. Since this is a very new thing happening here in the US, there is no one commission that we fit under. And maybe they can give us some guidance and assurance on where to go to get this handled properly. There's an MMA commission, there's boxing commission, there's Muay Thai commission, BJJ, they have all these different ones. But then you have Wego Todo. Now it involves MMA for the third round. You have weaponry in there, and it's safety focused. So which commission will take that on? And to make sure that we're attacking it on both fronts, not only will we be having them spectate, we're also taking steps to have it our own commission as well. So if they don't accept it, at least the ball is already rolling for the other one to be our own. So that way it uplifts all FMA here in America. No matter how small the school or how big or how influential, there's no one style above the rule set. Everyone comes to play, everyone is equal. Doesn't matter if you have 1 million students or one. Come and enjoy, come and have fun. And it's a learning experience for everyone that's involved. So,
if you guys do instruction too, right? So how do people find you online?
For Wego Todo or for me, for us?
Yeah.
You can't see the phone number. Sorry, I didn't realize how. Well, you can find me mainly in Silver Spring. We teach out of a gym called The Compound in Silver Spring. Big shout out to them. The owner's name is Pao. He is half Filipino, and he has offered us a home and has been very gracious to us. And I believe when I met you, X, we were still teaching out of Best of the Best up there in Upper Marlboro.
Right.
Yeah, we're hopefully when the time is right, we hope to reconnect with you and Malenga and Malenga Youssef. Yeah, and make some things happen.
Yeah, no doubt.
Lex, if you give us the information, I can stick it in the bio of our YouTube on our channel. So if you
yeah, sure.
And then and you can send that to us later. And then
okay,
the event, will Ferdy be here at that event in August?
You better be.
Well, I'm working on it. Because as you know, I'm still trying to get everything established here locally.
Yeah.
And I do have a lot on my plate, from the amateur events to the regionals to the nationals. With between all of that and trying to get it professionalized, I'm really really busy. So, but I would really love to go. I'll try to work around this schedule, and then hopefully I can be there. Yeah.
How can we follow what you're doing in Manila?
Um, all you got to do is, we're on Facebook and Instagram. All you have to do is type in Juego Todo, just like it's spelled, Juegotodo, the two separate words, Juego Todo, and PH, Juego Todo PH. We also have the other page, which is just Juego Todo. It's all the same. The only difference is that the one with the PH was just created because we had some problems with Instagram. So the one with the Juego Todo PH has a direct link to IG, to our IG account. But we're also you can also check us out on UGB MMA, because that is the mother company, UGB MMA. Yes. So that's how you get in touch with us, and try to get to see videos. It's also on YouTube as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, we've been around for 12 years now. So
Oh, that's wonderful. I want to make sure you put women and kids on there. Okay. Like I
oh,
want
there are
kids, women.
there
All
are.
right.
You know,
Oh
We're
yeah.
my,
looking for the next. We're
my,
looking for the next female superstar. Maybe you could
Invite
be
me.
that one.
You don't know.
Yeah, go for it. Let's go.
my
I'll
sister
get you
and I
ready.
are planning to be at the event, so hopefully you do come, Kuya Ferdinand, so we can meet you in person.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So our time is brief, and it seems like the teacher is not going to be able to join us, but I have some questions for you. So these we always play a game. This is our way of connecting with you all. Because I'm reading the questions, I don't get to answer. It's all the males today get to answer the questions. So these are questions for you. This is the game that we're playing is called the bucket list sharing. So how this works is you all have been told you have 24 hours to live. How are you going to spend those 24 hours? And I'm going to start with Lex first, because he seems like he has been thinking about this all his life and he can't wait
No.
to share.
Oh no. In fact, I started thinking that's how my head started to trip. Oh my goodness. Um, I know first and foremost, I want to spend as much time with my family as I can, as much as possible. I owe them so much that I wouldn't even, I wouldn't have learned any of this. I wouldn't have picked the interest. I wouldn't have done a lot of the things. My mom, she was the reason why I worked in healthcare, the reason why I pushed to do my nursing stuff and to take on law enforcement and be an officer for 6 years. I've been in healthcare for almost 12, 12 years. So, and I finally get a chance to take a step back and do this and do something I enjoy. I'm at a point where I'm not as materialistic as I was when I was in college. I want all the things. I'm more about my peace now and what I can hand off to the next generation. So I know that I did some good and I affected people positively with my time here.
Oh, that's a wonderful. We learned a lot about him in that answer, didn't we, brother?
Yeah. Some very, very meaningful and purposeful. I love it.
Right. I see. We know who you are. We could break that down. That's for another show. All right, Freddie. You got 24 hours to go. That's it.
Okay. Well, since it's very limited, I would go with what Lex mentioned in the beginning. Spend time with the family. Of course, that's you only got 24 hours. But on the other side, on the flip side of that, I'm gonna start really pushing for the Philippine government to actually, professionalize this Juego Todo, because it's gonna have a very, very huge impact on the rest of the FMAers, the Arnisadoys,
Yes.
here in the Philippines, and give them, shine that really, really bright spotlight on them and put, like I said, my goal is to put them on a pedestal. And that way, this all started with a passion, which became an advocacy. And by the time I'm gone, this is going to be my legacy. So I would really like to see all of these people, all of these FMAers who are, dirt poor as of the moment, and get to get to where I want them to be later on. And professionalizing the
Yes.
sport is the key.
Yes.
That's all I got.
So wait a
Only
minute.
24 hours.
He's humble and he's a rebel. So you are pushing. So when you say you're going to go push the government, you're going to make sure that you enforce and facilitate
Yeah.
change. I'm liking it. All right.
Yeah.
So nice, very balanced people.
Yes.
Now it's Xadian's turn. Let's see if he gives us some of this wild child.
Well,
Rebel,
I spent
24 hours.
I spent enough of my life with family and building the legacy that I'm gonna leave behind. Bring on the 40 virgins or whatever for my 24 hours left. You know what I mean? but also, I probably kick off the revolution. To uplift the disenfranchised and underserved communities. I definitely feel a passion behind that. So whatever I can do in my last 24 hours to kick that off in a mega big way, I'll definitely be all on that.
Well, excellent. I knew you'd bring something provocative. 40 virgins, I hope you representing yourself as a virgin since you want all these pure people.
Well, I told you I'm sleeping by myself with that already.
You're sleeping by yourself. I see that. All right, so I would be remiss. Oh, wait a minute, we have a guest. So
he came in right on.
But that's okay. He came. We should let's give him the time. Hello, how are you?
I'm sorry. I'm late. I'm still a bit.
It's all right. You came in right on time to answer the question on what you would do with your last 24 hours.
Yes. So we've been introduced you as a teacher and this wonderful guy, but you got to give it to us. If you only had 24 hours to live, how would you spend your last 24 hours?
In the beach. I spent it in the beach. I just flew in from Sarasota, so I'm still in the airport on my connecting flight. So the next 24 hours will be in the air.
Well, your son was going to do, he's changing the world, and then Ferdy's, he's a revolutionary, and then Xadian is spending time with 40 virgins, and then, hopefully.
we all revolutionaries.
I agree. We all are visionaries. That's why we meet here in this platform.
That's right.
Because we want to share everything we want for the next generation.
There you go. Well, your son and Kuya Ferdinand definitely been representing, and we big salutes to you. We were just commending how great of a teacher you are and a pioneer in the FMA realm. So I know you jumped on late, but you definitely been well represented. Yeah. What's the next question?
We're trying to connect only to the other visionaries. We'll be helping each other.
Exactly.
That's right. Well, we're looking forward to coming to your event. I want y'all to plug it one more time. I don't have that's it. The bucket list game is you just talk about one thing. So you're dying. So you don't have a lot of time. You only got 24 hours, Xadian. My goodness.
24 hours can be a lot if you maximize it, right?
Well, let me just say, observationally, none of you guys are eating. None of you all are reading. You're not doing anything.
24 hours. If that's going to be the last 24 hours, you don't need to eat or read. All you need to do that for.
All right, somebody give one more announcement for your event in August, and then we are going to be signing off.
Oh, another. I hope
everyone. Oh, wonderful! Well, thanks in advance.
Okay, I'll wrap up. I hope to see everybody this August 9th. It's a Saturday. Come to learn. Come with an open heart and open mind, and you won't be disappointed. It's not just an event, it's an experience, and we want everyone to enjoy it.
and we can't wait to be a part of it. Zadie and I will be there, hopefully, to set up time to speak to people and then bring back our experience to the show. And then I'm looking forward to food, because if I had 24 hours, I'm definitely eating. Like, I gotta at least savor some food. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't? What kind of people are you? You're not eating, you're just doing for 24 hours.
X is eating something, but it ain't.
I'm giving out the food. You know, I'm the bread basket. You know.
You're some kind of basket. I don't know which kind. We don't know if it's gonna be the bread or not. Folks, this is the end of our show. We had a wonderful opportunity hanging out with Wes, Lex, and Ferdy, who came to us all the way from Manila. I don't think we tell people that. Like, this was our opportunity to connect globally. And so we are happy that we are learned more about the Filipino martial arts, and we're going to continue to learn more and bring it to our community, because we need opportunities and experiences. And I'm so appreciative of you all sharing that with us. Next time in the Rose Garden, we also will have a special guest back here on Thursdays at 2 p.m. weekly.
Right. Sounds good. Thank you so much for having us. I really appreciate it.